What's cracking, Naptown? So, here I am. We're at the end of June, and the competition's coming on July 25th. And so I need to be thinking pretty seriously about getting ready for that. And I'm pretty ready. Like, let's be serious. I've been thinking about it all year, obviously. Start this off with some gratitude. What are we grateful for today? Well, let's be grateful for peaches. The peach truck came by. I went and got peaches on, I'm gonna say, Thursday? I think I went and got peaches on Thursday. And, like some beautiful, perfect peaches straight out of Georgia. That's a delight. Like, that is just absolutely phenomenal. Change your whole outlook on life. Today, I will be eating a lot of peaches. We bought like 50 pounds. And so, when you buy 50 pounds of peaches, you got your work set out for you. At the end, when they're all starting to turn, then we'll just cook them down, turn them into peach preserves. But right now, they're just perfect, beautiful, fresh Georgia peaches. It's really something. So over the past few weeks, I did the thing. I set a goal, I accomplish a goal. That's just what you have to do if you're trying to accomplish a goal. And so I did like 2 weeks of school, 1 week on the road with a trainer, 3 days of studying to pass the state exam, and bam, I got my Class A driver's license. And so, I did it the quick and easy way. I went through the company that does it the cheapest and the fastest. And so I've accomplished the goal now, but I don't have any experience actually doing the job. And so for at least a little while, I'm actually going to do the thing. I get my truck on Monday, and I suppose I start driving on Tuesday, and that'll be kind of crazy to just head out on my own 80,000 pound truck going to God knows where, someplace I've never ever been to before, backing into some dock I've never seen before. I gotta sneeze, it's got me messed up. And so that's a little nervous making, but the company has a big support system to try to prepare me for it. So we'll see, right? At this point, it's all gravy. Like, I've already got the thing that I set out to get, and the money doesn't even matter. I haven't spent $1 that they paid me, because they pay me basically nothing. And I've been trying to figure out their whole pay structure, and it's like intentionally confusing, and they don't really give you enough variables to figure out the math and what the heck they're talking about. And I assume that's just because the whole trucking industry is in the business of taking advantage of people, right? Like, it seems like quite a lot of the whole sales pitch that the trucking companies come at you with is turn your life around, you know. And I'm like, I'm not trying to turn my life around, buddy. I'm just trying to get the silly license so I know what I'm doing. And so, you know, I think quite a lot of their marketing strategy is trying to employ felons and people who don't have very much hope, you know, who don't really know what the heck to do next, and they feel powerless. I think that's the kind of clientele that they're trying to get to drive their trucks for them at bottom dollar. And that's just the way of the world, right? I mean, I'm not judging them. Every company's the same. The management structure of every company I've ever worked for has been absolutely clueless and incompetent. Most of the office people that I've talked to in this company have told me that, like, you know, their dad used to work for the company, their mom used to work for the company, and anytime you got like nepotism running the office instead of people who actually know how to do the job running the office, it's going to be rough, right? And so one of the things that I've really learned from the training process is that you have to be crystal clear about everything with the office, because they will just drop the ball on some very fundamental parts of the whole situation. Example, when I was going down for my training thing, you know, I drove around for a week with some dude in some other state to learn how it all works firsthand. And I never received any itinerary to do that. And so I called the lady right before she's leaving for the weekend, and she made it explicitly clear that she don't answer no phones on the weekend, because obviously trucking is a 9 to 5 thing. You wouldn't do that 24 hours a day. And hand to God, she says, "Oh, I must have dreamt that I sent you that itinerary." And I'm like, wow, that's not what I want to hear. And then at the end of my week, she sent me an email that said, when your trainer releases you, go stay at the hotel, and then drive the rental car back home. We'll see you Monday. And she hadn't made the reservation. So I sent a message back and said, "Hey, I don't have a confirmation for this hotel reservation. Can you help me out?" And she said, "Oh, I must have forgot to make that." I'm like, "Well, make the reservation, then send the email. You know, you got your order operations all backwards." And so I just have extremely low hopes for the powers that be in the office of this company. The trainers have been great. The people who actually drive the trucks and they teach us how to drive the trucks, they've all been very good, competent, helpful. They have answers. The office, man, wow. And so my best idea so far is to get some t-shirts printed up that say drug test dispatch, you know. And I think I could sell some t-shirts. I think every truck driver in America would buy a t-shirt that says drug test dispatch. That's my best idea so far. All right, so set a goal, accomplish a goal. The goal is accomplished, but I'm gonna do it for a little bit at least, just to get experience, you know. I don't like being away from home 5 days in a row. That's jacked up. But on the positive side, when you're sitting in the back of a pickup truck, that's not a pickup truck. When you're sitting in the back of a real truck, you ain't got nothing to do but pick up that practice guitar. You know what I mean? From a cutting out distractions standpoint, from a letting yourself get bored standpoint, sitting in the back of a truck's pretty good for that, because you ain't got shit to do. And so I'm trying to look at the positive aspects of it all. And that I was trying to let myself get bored, and I found a way to let myself get bored. Sitting in the back of an 18-wheeler in Who Cares America, that is a good way to find boredom. I'll tell you that much. On the guitar front, I've got some little folk festival to get ready for in late August, and that's got me going back through some old songs and getting them straight and singing them and getting my chops back. And so that's really nice, actually. It's been a little minute since I have really tried to get some of those songs that I learned a handful of years ago tight again. And they're fun. You know, I've learned a lot of fun songs over the years. And at this point, I've started to forget that some songs even exist. Like I hadn't played Hunky Tunky in years now. I'd just forgotten Hunky Tunky exists. But I was sitting in the back of a semi, bored out of my mind, and I was like, oh yeah, Hunky Tunky. I need to go figure out how that works. And man, you know, you listen to it once, you know, you just start playing it again. It's fantastic. So I've got some folk festival coming up late August. I don't know any details. I don't think there are any details yet. It's all pretty who knows right now. The guitar festival, fingerstyle guitar competition, that's coming up August 25, and I need to get my game tight for that. But again, sitting in the back of a semi, playing a practice guitar with a thinner nut width, that really kind of tightens up your game, because playing on a smaller neck, you know, it really makes you concentrate on getting your fingers standing straight up and playing with the tips of your fingers. And it's also real easy to get sloppy and bend strings on a smaller guitar. And so it makes you hyper aware of not bending your strings out of tune every time you fret some chord. And so I just need to get 5 songs tight by August 25th. And will I still be driving a truck by then? I don't know. I'm not really gonna like being on the road 5 days at a time. My girl ain't gonna like me being on the road 5 days at a time. But I still feel like I need to get some real world experience from this whole project before I decide to move on to whatever the next project is. You know what I mean? Like, I definitely accomplished the thing. I've got the license, but it would obviously be better if I had done it a little bit and I knew what I was doing driving around that 53-foot trailer. That's how I feel about it. So, I think on Tuesday I'm going to head out for my first week of doing the damn thing. That's the plan. All right, is there anything else? I'm sure I've forgotten something, but who cares? All right. I hope you have a really good day.